Hi everyone. I have there's two SmartDoll boxes. One is a boy SmartDoll and then one is some vinyl chaos parts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open it up. I'm using the smallest cutter ever, so I hope it works. I can't find my regular scissors, of course. Never can find anything when I need it. I don't know why. That's just my life. Let's see if that works. Hey, it did. Okay, so this first box is the chaos vinyl, so I'm actually going to set that aside and we'll look at that after we look at the boy because I'm super excited for the boy. Alright, let me just close that drawer over there. Alright, so the boy is I have to look at the way this is. This blade is so small. Can you see that teeny tiny little blade? So tiny. Okay, anyway, the boy is the vampire boy, staying alive. I really wanted him in milk because I don't have a milk boy. I used to. I had a milk boy that I purchased secondhand, and I ended up selling him a couple years prior to the current release of boys. Because I definitely struggled with how the boys' arms were popping out on the Gen 2 frame. So I had to let them all go because I just couldn't manage them. I'm sure they went to wonderful, loving homes. So there is the typical be seen with SmartDoll bag. Comes out nice and easy. I do love these bags, and I'm so excited to get a milk boy again because now I think I do have a boy in the new Evolve frame and all of the skin tones. Well, all of the standard skin tones. We haven't seen boys come out in any fantasy skin tones on the Evolve frame. There was the blue boy released when they were still on Gen 2. And then there was, I don't think there was ever a gray boy released, but I do have a gray boy. All the parts together. The only thing I need is a right hand for him, but I have an Evolve frame for him, so I do really want to build him, so I could have a gray boy. That'd be really cool. Blank face though. I don't even know if I like the head form. I have an option head form. Anyway, besides the point. And then we haven't seen a green boy yet, although I think a green boy would be really cool too. Anyway, without further ado, here is this boy. Put upside down. Yeah, milk. Staying alive. There he is. Super excited. I'm just going to flatten out his legs here a little bit. The funny thing is, when Danny was, oh my god, he's so handsome. Oh, I love him. When Danny was posting about the vampire boy and getting ready to drop him, or asking what other skin tones he might, my lighting is weird, so it's putting weird shadows on his face, but I love those golden eyebrows. I love the golden eyes. It's very much, I don't know how people feel about Twilight anymore, but I still like those movies, and this very much makes me feel like this could be a Twilight vampire that goes along with the main vampire family, the Cullens, right? They have golden eyes and everything. This, I actually thought when he was being announced that he should have been named after the dad in that family, which now I cannot think of his name. But anyway, I also suggested that vampire boy come out in gray because my gray vampire girl really wants a gray vampire boy. So if he ever were to release in gray, I probably would get him too. But I was super excited for the milk boy because now I have a boy in every color that is available, basically. So here he is. He's really handsome. I really like him. I think he is he's just handsome. But and I do love the wig that came with him. I really do. The long blonde wig. And I want to put on him kind of, but I actually have another wig that I want to try on him. So I'm going to set this aside, but this is the long wave blonde wig. And I guess that's the style that he's kind of coming out with. Then we have our card and our stand. I have typically been putting these back in the boxes now because I just don't need any more. I have so many stands, and I do have them available for me to use and use with my dolls. I just don't really utilize them that much anymore. I don't need any more because I have so many. All right, so here he is. Oh, and I already picked a name for him. I had this name for a boy previously when I sold all my boys, and the name that I thought I was using didn't work for the boys that I had, didn't stick. So this boy, he is going to be named Qwilleran, or Qwill for short, and that is a character from a book series that I loved as a child called the Cat Who mystery series. That there was about, I don't know, 20 or 30 books or so, and I'm gonna kind of steal that character's backstory, so it's gonna be his backstory. He's not gonna take on the persona of that character completely, but I like it as a backstory, and I'll talk about that more later, or I'll write about it when I post about him on Facebook or whatever. But let me just show you guys. I'm just gonna put on a couple things for him so he can have something to wear. This is clothes my other boys have already worn. I do not have a whole wide variety of boy clothing, but I think I have enough to at least you know, get them all dressed. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a shirt on him. This is not a SmartDoll brand shirt. It's just a shirt that I have that fits and works for boys. I think I got it maybe from well, either potentially from Etsy, like an Etsy artist, or Dollremi, or the last place that I'm actually thinking I might have gotten it from was oh shoot, it's another doll website where I actually ordered some boy doll clothes from when I got my very first boy SmartDoll, which was the Cinnamon Boy a few years ago now. And they work, but they're like just geared towards like 1/3, so they're not as form-fitting per se as like other clothes that are specifically tailored for SmartDoll. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'll try to put links to the couple of sites that I have shopped for boy clothes. That does work. See, this works just fine. Just a white t-shirt. Fits. It's not necessarily super form-fitting, but it does fit, and I think it looks nice, you know. I'll put the links to the couple of websites that I have purchased boy doll clothes from that does work for SmartDolls, even if it's not necessarily tailored specifically to SmartDoll. So, got a shirt. I need to put a pair of pants on him. And then I'm super excited to try this wig because I don't even know if I did a box opening for it. I may have. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But it was the last haul, basically, that I got from Bai. And I haven't purchased anything from them since the tariffs. Oh, speaking of tariffs, this was two big boxes from SmartDoll. As it turned out, gosh, I'm having such a struggle here. As it turned out, the total cost for this was, you know, it was a boy SmartDoll, and then it's 3 bags of Chaos Vinyl, which I really wanted 4, and I had 4 in my cart, but when I checked out, they said 1 sold out, and then right after I checked out, it like restocked, so I don't know what happened there. But I had those in my cart for a while, so I don't know if like at the same time somebody else was checking out or what, because then that one last bag did end up selling like later that night that I had purchased. So this, anyway, he is from the second drop of the Milk Vampire Boy, and now he has been dropped in Cinnamon as well. I'm hoping for gray. That'd be really cool. But what I was going to say as far as tariffs, so I had these 2 big boxes. I had them shipped via FedEx, and no mention of tariffs. This was purchased in September, just you know, a few days ago or whatever. And I have, though, already experienced tariffs, but just once. Well, twice, but the other time was when I had a huge purchase. I decided to give him a scarf. Is he too hipster looking like that? So no tariffs so far, is what I'm getting at with shipping with FedEx. So I don't know if I may potentially get an email later saying, okay, this is the tariff that we're charging you or whatever, because that has happened. That's been my experience when I've gotten a tariff. Once it was I had to pay after, and I presumed that if I didn't pay, they would no longer ship to me until I paid, like if I had future shippings. Another time was, and that was long before the tariffs, I think. And then the most recent one, that was with FedEx, I think, the one where I had to pay later after the shipment was already arrived. And then the most recent one was after the tariffs were enacted. It was with DHL, and it was just, I paid before, and then they released the shipment to me. This one, no tariff, no fees. So, but what I'm getting at is that FedEx may email me and be like, okay, here's your tariff fee. So anyway, this is the wig that I'm using. This was from the last Buy haul, as I got distracted talking about fees and all that. I think it's really cute, and I have 2 of them, and I almost, would it be crazy of me to get another boy to have twins? Oh my gosh, that would be so adorable. I don't know. I have to see how it looks. I don't know if I'm going to love it or not. But I do kind of love it. So the wig is pretty, it's pretty stylized. So it kind of has like chunks of hair, like glued into position. And even though I love his long blonde, look at it's white and blonde. Ah, it's adorable. Let's give you another close up here. I'm sorry I have to do him sideways. Oh my gosh. The shadows are being weird. But he's so cute. He totally looks like a hipster. So this is Qwilleran, everybody. This is the Staying Alive milk vampire boy from SmartDoll, and he's so freaking cute. Oh my gosh, I love him. I'm probably going to take him to work tonight so I can love on him some more. All right, we'll leave him just on screen. I didn't try on his wig, but you all know what he looks like from the website, and he looks fabulous, but we'll save that for another time. All right, so now into the Chaos Vinyl. I got 3 bags, like I said. I wanted 4, but whatever. I don't even know why I'm buying these. I don't know why. I do have frames. I have about 4 or 5 frames, potentially, 2 of which are Gen 2, and then 4. So I might have 6 frames. I think I have 2 Gen 2 frames and 4 Evolve frames. The Evolve frames kind of scare me. I still have not built one. Anyway, so I guess I'm buying the parts to potentially put together a doll. I do have at least 2 full builds ready to go. I just haven't put them together. So let's bring out the stuff and see what we get. Here's one. There's some heads, there's some abdomens, there's busts, and everything in between. So let's see what we got. Heads, you know, I really keep envisioning myself doing face-ups. Here goes my mailman. He's not delivering a doll to me today. This was FedEx. Just regular mail, probably bills. Wah wah. Anyway, I keep envisioning myself doing face-ups. I have so many blank heads, and I just want to get brave and do it. I loved coloring as a child. I wanted to be an artist when I grew up, and I never pursued it because I wasn't very good. That's a G07. That makes me think of Genesis Sculpt. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That is, pretty sure it's cinnamon. No, it could be tea. No, I don't know. Do I have comparison parts? I don't know. I think, okay, I think it's tea because there's a cinnamon leg in here. So, G07 head, nicely trimmed and everything, all ready to go, even the neck hole, which is super awesome. Here is a Danny Chu head, which could be Mirai or the Chitose or the Hikar something sculpt. Big old anime head already, also all trimmed up and ready to go, which is also very cool. So that one is cinnamon for sure. So cinnamon and a tea. It would be stunning if I got the gray boy hand that I need in here. There was Vinyl Chaos hand packs. I wanted to buy one after, but I had bought him, and I was like, I don't want to, so I didn't. They dropped a couple days after he dropped. Here is a Coco pear bust, It's definitely probably a medium, which I have several of these still that I already trimmed. This one is not trimmed. And I know people are looking for them. I will be selling this, so, and I have more, so I really need to get back up on my vinyl sales and update. This is a pair. Well, is it a pair? 2 left. Cocoa pear, not pear like pear side body sculpt, but like a pair of arms. That's 2 left though. 2 left cocoa arms. We have a which those were not trimmed, obviously, but we do have a pear cinnamon leg. And here, if you're ever curious, you see that there's a indentation there. That's probably why it got dropped into chaos. But that don't bother me because you can't even see that. You cannot see that when it's inside the leg. And then a Sofubi T boy abdomen. That's nice. I got T-boy abdomens before and I sold them all because people were looking for them. Maybe I'll keep one to build. I don't know. Alright, next one. Now this is crazy. Look at this, you guys. This is like the size of him. This must be a SmartDoll Plus Chaos Vinyl part. So this is my first ever thing of even getting close to a plus girl in person, which is really cool. Ooh, there is also a head cap. I love the head caps. I always want, whenever I get, if I intentionally buy heads when they were like on the grid, or when I buy like a pack of, or you know, like a random painted faced up head or whatever, I always try to buy head caps because even if I don't get them face ups right away, I like the idea of having a head cap for every head, because then if I even sell it too, I can at least provide a head cap to whoever purchases. So that's nice. I bought some of those pink ones. I want more. I wish that was the standard color. I know black and orange have been the kind of standards. He had an orange one, right? But I love those pink ones. They're so fun. This is cool. Here is a blank green head, already trimmed up and everything, all ready to go. I think I have the same green head that came out with the green kit builds. Well, they were in chaos right before green officially dropped. I still have it, so I think it's a Hikari head or whatever, but it has the Danny Chu stamp at the back. So that's kind of cool. Although, looking at it, I can definitely tell why this one ended up in chaos. Look at the head. It's almost triangular shaped. What happened there? Who knows? That must be a miscast on the molding or what. I'm sure if you put a head cap in there, it would probably help squish it out. So it's not like ruined, but it might look maybe a little odd shaped from the back, depending on what kind of hairstyle is put on there. Here is a T foot. I think all the boys now come with like the, oh, this boy had, okay, I just compared. Look at this. So he has the bigger foot. I didn't know that. I thought the boys were coming with the standard size feet and the bigger foots were like optional. So that's kind of neat to know. See that? The toes are definitely different length. So I think this is a standard foot. This is like a classic girl SmartDoll foot. Or pair, it doesn't matter. Here is a, oh my god, you guys, I'm holding upper arms. Do you know how hard it is to come across upper arms and forearms for classic? I think I need at least one of these. I'm pretty sure. I actually want to get all my dolls down into like undergarments. I've done that before in the past during like winter time. Because I tend to take my dolls outside for pictures, and when it's cold out I don't take them out, so I don't do a lot of photography with them as much. But in the past I had taken all my dolls and just got them down to their undergarments, checked them over, made sure they needed cleaning, whatever. But now that I have so many builds that have like mismatched parts and some that are still missing parts, it's hard to tell though because I dress them up, so I don't always know what parts I need. So this is amazing. They're trimmed. It is milk and cinnamon. Here is a Sofubi. It could potentially, no, I think it's cinnamon. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. Milk and cinnamon are close. It could be milk, but it's definitely not tea because you can see the difference there. But yeah, there's a boy, whole body right there. This is really nice. Sofubi. What is the? I don't know, the birthmark one, the bust, but it's a classic bust, classic size bust or small or whatever you want to refer to it as. Pretty sure, anyway. And then it has the markings, which I don't know if those are different because I don't remember one being quite that far back on the shoulder. I don't know, I'd have to compare. It's kind of neat. And then here is my first, this is my Plus Girl, do you know? So he was the last thing on my like checklist of things that I wanted of like recent like SmartDoll stuff. The only two things left that I really want on my like I would really love to have is a SmartDoll Plus doll, and I am really leaning hard towards those Cortex dolls with all the cutouts and stuff. I would love a white one with red little inserts, and then I would also love a cocoa one with gold inserts, maybe, I don't know. But this is on my checklist. Look, it's already trimmed and everything. Isn't it beautiful? I would probably take who knows how long. I really hope that they produce some Plus dolls. It would be like the cherry on the top of my like SmartDoll collection. It would probably be the last SmartDoll I'd ever buy. Who knows? Because I know they would be. They're going to be very expensive. But it's just cool. It's cool to have one. It's cool to have a part and imagine the size of them. Because when you look at that, like this leg is like the size of his body. It's so crazy. So it's really cool. It's really neat. And it is definitely tea. That's a tea one. All right, let's see what else we got here. Looks like we got some more heads. So this is another blank green head. Same head as this one, and this one does not have that weird, like, I don't know what happened here shape, but it's the same sculpt, the Danny Chu. So I don't know. Some more heads here. Oh my gosh, this is really cool. So this is the G07, but it is the Survivor blend, so like the tea and the cinnamon together. I don't know if it's going to catch that, but can you just see the striations there? I actually have another head like this. I don't know if it's in the same sculpt, but I do have another blank Survivor head. The striping is kind of hard to see, but now that I look at it and like you can, I don't know if it'll catch it. You can see there on her chin there's kind of one, and it's also like there on the cheek. Doesn't that kind of give you like the Saja Boys like demon stripe looks feel? Kind of. Here is a T Cyber marked purple lines foot. I remember how badly I wanted a cyber, like a purple cyber marked doll, and I think I do have one. It's a shame that I can't even remember, but there's the purple. There's a set, although this one doesn't have the T, but at least there's a pair of feet there. Here is another Survivor sculpt in G07. I don't know if it's going to pick up the striations here, but let me move this box out of the way. Maybe it'll be a little bit more light. Can you see those, like, kind of, they're very faint, but it's definitely there. It's kind of cool. So I have quite a few of those now. And then this is a G07. I think it's gotta be cinnamon. She looks a little banged up or something. I don't know. Not like dings, but like there's kind of some smudges around her face. It's chaos for you. A cocoa pear right lower leg to go along with a cocoa pear abdomen. So, well, it doesn't really work because it's not trimmed, but you get the idea, like that. And then the last couple of things in here. Wouldn't have been freaking amazing if this was gray, but it's a classic hand. It's not a boy hand. It's cocoa though, cocoa right hand. And then here is a coffee boy foot, I guess. It's kind of huge. So you can definitely see the size difference there. Is that the same as... No, that's even bigger than his foot. Is this a plus foot? I feel like this would be way too small, but it could be because that's bigger than his foot. Noticeably bigger, but it could just be the bigger boy foot, right? Because, okay, so, but I don't get that then because his foot is bigger than this foot. Is there two? So are boy feet different from... Look, the toes are longer. I have the heels lined up. I don't understand. I don't know, this could be a bigger boy foot, but if it is bigger, it's a bigger. I didn't order any of the bigger boy foot, so I don't really know. But I am very content with my haul here. It would have been amazing to get the last, technically 2 parts that I need for my gray boy. But it's nice to get some green heads. That's kind of cool. The boy parts, and then this. So the last time that I got some Chaos Vinyl, I got that big boot that is meant for plus dolls. A doll friend of mine had the pair, and she already has a plus doll that she built from Chaos. So I sold it on to her so that she could have a pair of shoes for her doll. Actually, I sold it to her, and I need to take it to the mailbox, to the post office today. So I'm just waiting for my kid to get home so I can drop that off. But this is really fun. This is neat. Who knows if it'll ever come to be that I'll have a plus doll or that they'll get released as an actual drop. But I do love this boy. He's so damn cute, and it's potential that I would pick him again in gray if he came out in gray, because my Sumiko wants a gray vampire boy. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are in desperate need of any of those like vinyl parts, let me know. There's 6 heads here and a bunch of pair stuff, and then, you know, a pair of 2 feet. So I have stuff, and I'm gonna try to re-up my vinyl spare parts for sale too. So if anybody needs anything, just find me on Facebook. It's Berry Wings. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. And I will comment on this video if I do get tariffs emailed to me later from FedEx. Bye, everyone. Bye.